wealthy people, first they get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get real estate.
성공을 위한 채널. 레온 하워드는 월스트리트 트래퍼로 더 유명하죠. 그는 어린 시절 16살에 감옥에 가게 되었죠. 하지만 감옥에서 그는 한 남자를 통해서 세상이 어떻게 돌아가는지를 이해하게 되고 주식 투자 도서를 읽고 공부하여 지금은 손에 꼽히는 부자가 되었습니다. 그럼 그에게 어떻게 해야 돈을 벌 수 있는지 지금부터 함께 알아봅시다.
Wealthy people do three things, man. They stop trading time for money. They make their money work for them. And they give as much value to people as they can. The reason why you give people so much value is because if you give them so much value, they'll never leave you and they'll always be there for you. And you will never need for anything as long as you give value to people. And so I learned that as I got older. That part really didn't make sense to me at the time, but the money working for you part, and I was like, how do you make your money work for you? Again, all I know is how to go get money. That's all I know. Wealthy people, first they get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get real estate. And so that's important for me, the understanding the basics and the fundamentals. Like once you start understanding the fundamentals, you give yourself power because you now understand, like you said, you see how the machine works, right? And so most people look at the machine and marvel and say most people look at the stock market. 98% of the people who I know look at the stock market and say, yo, that's not a game I can play. I'm staying away from it. So once I understood the fundamentals of like the most important thing too is we don't understand how money works. That's a whole different language in its own. So once I went and got the information, I now wanted to sing from the mountaintop, like, yo, look at this dope thing I found. Everybody can be a part of it. And then when I showed it to people, they was like, that ain't it, bro. I'm not about to do that. And so I realized how powerful it was for me to, one, become economically like powerful in my mind. Because the thing about investing, especially in stocks, is that piece of ownership of everything that I use, owning a percentage of a great business. And so once I understood that concept, I understood that the key to wealth is through ownership. Key to building wealth is not how much you can work. You can't work your way to wealth. You got to invest your way to. The people who aren't wealthy is because they don't own nothing. You only have your money sitting in cash. If your money is just sitting in cash, realistically, you're becoming poorer every day.
Right, or they own depreciating assets.
And that's what cash is. It's a depreciating asset because the more money they print, the more money that money loses value. And so the idea of ownership was, yo, we can just start owning everything that no matter if it's just a stock, like that's powerful. Because if you can start owning the businesses that you now consume every day, you turn a one-time transaction to a lifetime of profit. Once you start understanding the power of how your money works, you'll start saying, yo, I don't need to do that because that's taken away from this. That 25 will now become $50. Guaranteed. That 50 will now become 100 because you're going to start doing more with less.
오늘날 주식을 하기엔 너무 쉬운 세상이 되었죠. 무작정 주식을 시작하라는 말이 아닙니다. 우선 세상이 돌아가는 상황을 잘 이해해야 하고 많은 공부와 정보를 모아야 합니다. 현금으로 돈을 썩히지 마세요. 주식이 아니더라도 자신이 투자할 곳을 잘 찾아보세요. 돈을 열심히 굴려서 크게 돌아오게 만드세요. 부자가 되기 위해서는 돈이 나를 위해 일하게 해야 합니다. 재미있게 보셨다면 구독과 좋아요 부탁드려요.